Hey, what is up, guys? Wallow J here, and I'm here with my co-host Egg. Egg said, "What's up to the peoples?"
What's up to the peoples?
Damn, man, we got like that low energy. What's up? Is it is it
Well,
is it the
I
low
was
T?
listening to, our interview of Max Hansen, and Miggy, was really worried about blowing out your eardrums. So maybe that got in my head.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So, well, I mean, we didn't have anything prepared, but we just wanted to come on and talk about the PGF guys that were doing the ADCC trials. Excuse me, the West Coast trials. Uh, and they were, between past and future PGF athletes scheduled for season six, or excuse me, PGF World Six. There were 20 athletes. So, I mean, we had like 2 full days of just watching our homies just, you know, try to make it to the top. And it was super fun, man. Shout out to Travis, man. I know his first one out. He didn't quite make it, but hey, still love you, dog. You know. Um, what did you think, man? I think they
I, I
showed out well.
I think it was wild. I mean, the idea that multiple times during the last 2 days, I had all four matches on my screen have
PGF
PGF
guys.
veterans, competitors, or future competitors on there. It was PGF overload. It was amazing. Just like the amount of caring that I had, the investment I had in this West Coast trials was just off the charts.
Yeah.
And as you said, a number of them, they did really, really well overall. And even the ones that didn't get a lot of wins showed us a lot. Just specifically, and well, I'll just pick them out right now. We had Jet Thompson, our 17-year-old, that we
Yeah.
interviewed very recently. Went up against a PGF veteran in the
Nick
Minnesota
Creighton.
Maniac, Nick Creighton. Yeah, and man, we were watching that together. Jet was threatening Nick the whole time. And then they reset in for that overtime, and Creighton got that great anaconda that he's been working on so much in the last year or so, and just pulled out that sub. But I'm telling you, and I sent a message to Jet. There's no question. He showed us 17 is just a number for that young man. He's ready to roll with the big boys, no question. So even though he got the L, yeah, I really think it helped his stock for that draft.
You
What do you
think
think?
so? Okay.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was ranked what in the official rankings? He was what 17, I believe, 17 or 18.
I don't know. I mean, I think that the two rankings we've seen from PGF and then from Inside BJJ podcast, they both have him ranked really low. Obviously, Scaff, being the connoisseur that he is, had him ranked much higher. But I still think he was in the he was either like 12th or low teens. But
Okay.
I mean, if anything, I think this probably told us that Scaff, imagine that, was probably right. This guy, is going to be somewhat of a contender. He's going to be a problem. And who knows? Maybe he can sneak in. Who knows to the finale? Who knows?
Hey, we saw Kevin Sherrill, our boy. Excuse me, handsome Kevin Sherrill, get that quick guillotine. And he's like, "Come on, quick!"
Yeah, yeah. He just got it. Then got on top of the dude, and he's like, "No, I'm done." But then of course, unfortunately, lost via points in the second match, and we talked a little about this. The frustration you have somewhat with, trying to evaluate people in the ADCC rule set for the PGF.
It's hard,
There
man.
are similarities. Yeah, there's similarities. Okay, the general regulation is 6 minutes. Now in the PGF, if you don't get a score in those 6 minutes, you both lose. You're both done. So that makes people open up a lot more. I mean, and you hear it in the ADCC, there on the mats. Everyone, as soon as it hits 3 minutes there, everyone's yelling points.
Point.
And
Yeah,
then it's like, okay, I'm going to get my pass or my takedown, and I'm just going to hang out here. Whereas in the PGF, because a draw, if you don't get a sub, it's a loss. Because of that, that last minute, that last 30 seconds is some of the most exciting jujitsu you will ever see. So, you know, some of our folks got, got their nights, or weekends ended by some points. And, will that happen in a real PGF match? Could, but all the incentives of the PGF says, hey, people should open up their games and we should see more submissions. Now, if I could, and well, maybe
Yeah, go
I'll
ahead.
I'll throw it to you, Allo. But I mean, I think both of us, having interviewed another person most recently, we're really proud of the PGF World Six competitor and PGF Season 5 vet. I mean, come on, man, tell the people about Cam Hurd, how he did.
Man, Cam Hurd, bro, first day 3-0. What's up? Yeah, I mean, and then his third match of the day yesterday, he pulled guard.
He pulled
I'm
guard.
like, I'm like, what are you doing, bro? And then he got a sick armbar too. So it just goes to show that he's been working on this stuff. He's not just that wrestler that's looking to run through you. He's like, yeah, he's gonna threaten you. He's not. He's not gonna. He didn't even look like the same guy when he pulled guard. I'm like, what are you doing?
And it's so funny because if anything, knowing that that Cameron Hurd, Virginia Tech D1 wrestler,
Yeah,
and just a unit. I mean, you see the guy, he could be an action star, forget, and you see him have the confidence and the courage to pull guard, and what's that get him? A sub in a minute and 20 seconds. I mean, almost, elbow genie bonus point freaking sub. I mean, I think that, and when he talked about us, to us in our interview, that he understands that in the PGF, some of that wrestling could be wasted time, and you know what, he might just sit guard, and he did, and it paid off. So I think it's just a real testament to the work that he's been doing in his jujitsu, and if he can have the confidence in that, to be able to open up his game a little bit more. I mean, Lord knows he can smash people. He's exciting. He's flying all over the mats. But yeah, I think we might see a little bit extra more jujitsu from him than
yeah.
wrestling, and that's exciting.
I mean, it's day two, 1-1. But overall, bro, 4-1. That's a great trials.
Huge, huge, no
That
question.
that is amazing. So, I mean, what does this do for his stock? Because obviously he was ranked low, being that he didn't have that great of a season in season 5. They were looking at him still like that wrestler kind of guy, but he's obviously added some stuff to his repertoire.
So he still has a little bit of the same criticism. I mean, he is definitely just a competitor. He's gonna be fun, but out of those 4 wins, we only had one submission, and I know he's been working on it. But again, the question, but we saw that he can turn it on though. We
Yeah,
saw that what, he can't actually play the game of jiu-jitsu itself. So the question is, will he have that confidence and that courage perhaps to just take a seat and to play a jiu-jitsu game, and maybe then do the wrestling up from there. I don't know. I mean, regardless, it's got to be up because before, and I told him, when we're off the air to his face, you're probably gonna be pretty dang low. But just because the low submission rate, that's the thing. He's
right,
great at
right.
wrestling. He's made for this ADCC rule set. But I think he showed us something. I think we're looking more in the teens now. I mean, not the high teens, the lower teens. Definitely some movement up there from him.
Right on. Let's see who else. Well, Jed, we only saw one of his matches. That was the one to Nick Creighton. Kieran
Yep.
Kachuk went 2-1, and in his loss, it was a little scary because it looked like the ankle got popped, and I don't know if it was broken or what. He was helped out of the mats, so we don't know what's going on with Kieran right now.
So
Have you seen anything as
so
far
on
on the
the
socials?
yeah, on the Grappling Hour podcast that Raf, as far as it does, he has a person that was on the mats essentially out there, and said that it was his ankle, um, and it was a counter heel hook to the opposite leg. Yeah, that's exactly right, Keelan. PGF is not ADCC, so the question is, can he get more of those subs? Talk about Cam. Again, awesome competitor. But here's the thing. I mean, we still have 3 weeks before the draft. So, I mean, if it's just a strain, if it's just a, little messed up ligament, hopefully he can just like ice that, get it, physical therapy, all that good stuff and be back. But yeah, we were all very concerned. Yeah, but he was looking good. I mean, his first match was a quick submission. His second match was a by points. He only had 2 the first day because he had pardon me. I'm losing my mind here. He had a bye the first round. Pardon me, in the 256. So he only had the 2. But maybe a more interesting thing. How about PGF season 3 and 4 veteran, PGF
Dane
season
Leak?
4, yeah, runner-up Dane Leak, got himself a nice submission his first round, and then up against PGF World 6 competitor Ben Eddy.
I know, and he's coming in confirmed, right? This is all
Say it.
confirmed. He's coming in, right? As an alternate.
Brother, you're the one that always tells me what I can and cannot say. So I
Okay.
ain't
Well,
saying anything.
I saw that the text that said confirmed. So I guess we can talk about it. Dane Leak is one of the alternates, and he beat one of the guys that's in the season. So that's interesting.
I mean, that's definitely a storyline.
It is. It is a storyline, but it also says that if somebody gets hurt, we got somebody ready to fire some shots down range.
And that's been some criticism from people in the past that some of our replacement bench players were
We're
a little
dunkables.
dunkable. Yeah, we're dunkable, but don't you dare think of that about Dane Leak. And granted, hey, again, this is an ADCC match. Dane Leak won. I think it was like 2 or 3-0 against Ben Eddy. It was a competitive match. I mean, we saw Dane Leak do his quarter guard. That's wild. But then, again, that gives us some look at good stuff for Dane Leak. But a question of, does that hurt Ben Eddy's stock? Does he now like lower, go kind of low, in the numbers? What do you think, Waldo?
Well, it shouldn't, because like Keelan said, ADCC is not the PGF. So in all essence, I think, I mean, it's not going to help it, but I don't think it's going to hurt it. And if it does, it's not going to be by much, because again, it's not really the same. But it depends on how the coaches want to look at it.
Yeah,
If
indeed.
they're even looking at it, they might just be like, who gives a fuck? Let's go. So
I think with the legendary coaches we have coming in, I think they have peoples that they will delegate some of this research to, and so they might have that working for them. All right, so who else do we want to talk about?
we saw Kelly McAllister, PGF vet, go 1-1, and I think his sub was heel hook, inside heel hook, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was outside, but it was a heel hook. But anyways, he had a nice sub.
It was inside or outside. He was in the building somewhere, but he got it.
There you go. So he's Caleb McAllister, season 1 runner up, season 3 vet as well, did really well. Always awesome to see. Great competitor, a guy that makes weaponizes cardio. Always going to push the match. He's just a ton of fun. Great to see him out there having a good weekend. Man, but dang, Hunter Colvin. He was on.
Yeah.
He was on a tear. I mean, it was all subs, and it was looking pretty good. And then that last match, he got the rear naked choke on him. I was like, what the heck happened?
Yeah.
But still, I mean, really showing
Yeah,
out.
he made it today too, bro. It's hard getting, bro. It's hard getting one win, let alone three, all by submission.
Exactly. I mean, he got like highlight reel submissions going on. So still a great weekend from him. Obviously, PGF season 2 champion Hunter Colvin having a great weekend himself. Um,
I believe Juan Martinez was out there too. He went 2-1, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's correct. We also had Cyanide. So Juan Martinez and Cyanide, Emily Hauser, both PGF season 4 vets. Juan Martinez, the 5th, going 2-1. Emily Hauser going 1-1. Still, great experience for her getting out there. Then, Reese Lefevre having a great weekend as well. Just ripping off subs. Well. Yeah. Now, I guess.
Let's see who else.
We had Samson. Anakin out there. He did great. Anakin Skywalker, PGF season 5 vet. He went 3-1. Ended up losing to Ryan Aitken, who of course is just a beast. So still a great weekend for him. But let's, we talked about Kieran, but we have at least 3 other PGF World 6 like highly rated competitors we still need to talk about in the 7 minutes we have before the next round comes up. So should we talk about the regurgitation heard around the world? I don't know.
You're talking about the puking? Bro, like what the fuck? Like, dude, you rewinded that, and I had just gotten done eating, just a piece of chicken. I was trying to get my protein up or whatever. You rewinded that shit, and I was like, I almost threw up, bro. I ain't even lying. But that shit was funny. I'm sorry, John Combs. That shit was funny.
So, I mean, credit to him. Real credit to him. He's already, he's already on Instagram. He's already, he posed with a guy who had a sign that said "Make puking legal," all kinds of stuff. I mean, he reshared BMX, a clip of him puking. So he's been a good sport about it. Good on him.
He's gonna go viral over that shit for sure.
Yeah, you got to do that. But here's the thing:
he might show up in Sports Center. That's the kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but okay. Before the puking heard around the world or seen around the world, however you want to call it, John Combs did have 4 wins. Now
he did.
Here's the thing: they were dominant, but 3 out of 4 of them were by points. So granted, the first one was 12-0. That's pretty ridiculous. The second one was 6-0. The third one, I forget, it wasn't as much as 6-0, but the fourth one, he got a rear naked choke. That was very nice. So I don't know. There's a question, man. I know he has a really great guillotine, and it's also the ADCC rule set, so it's different. But it makes me pause a second to think, can you shift? Can you shift from that ADCC points rule set mindset to the sub only? Okay, I have to get a submission or it's nothing mindset of the PGF. You got 3 weeks to do it. So I don't know. That gives me some pause. And of course, he did have that puking situation against Andy Varela. But before we talk about Andy, because he deserves it, Max Hansen was right there too.
Yeah, we got a bunch of comments here. Hold on. Let's see. Keelan is saying what? Kichuk sub was weird. Didn't seem like the position was that dangerous. Obviously, was the let's see what else. Between the FPI loss and the loss to Dane, his stock has dropped a tad. You think? Oh,
that's about Ben Eddy, I'm sure.
Yeah. We have another comment. Well, howdy doody, bro. Let's see. Andy was not happy getting third today. I'm sure he wasn't. Kevin Buren looked good even in his loss. Yeah, that was a tough loss.
So yeah, I mean, Kevin Buren lost to Alan Sanchez, EBI 19 champion. So that's your first match. that's your time to like, knock the rust off, get warmed up, etc. Oh yeah, by the way, you got an EBI champion, and it was a great match. It ended up just being by some points. And again, the question being like, okay, if that match was in the PGF rule set where it's all about the submissions, I want to see that match.
Yeah, Keelan saying that Max Hansen making it to the semis was a surprise to him. He looked good. We were not surprised, bro. I'm sorry. After talking to him and seeing what he did at Enigma, we knew he was going to be doing some damage. So,
He's got a great mindset.
granted,
He learned it from Dante Leon at Adamas there. He's going to be a force. Obviously had a great time during this qualifier trials. Pardon me. Lost in the semis to Oliver Taza via judge's decision, and that was a rematch of Enigma Invitational 14 that just happened about a month and a half ago, where Max Hansen beat Oliver Taza via points to win $10,000 at that Enigma Invitational 14. This time didn't go his way. It was a ref's decision though. So again, if you put in the PGF rule set where you have to open up your game, you have to go for that submission, that makes you more vulnerable as well. So it could have been different. And of course, in that that bronze medal match, it was Andy Varela, who we can talk about in a second, but that took out Max Hansen via rear naked choke. Now, Andy Varela, man, a statement trials, right?
well, he went 5-1, got third, finished Max Hansen with a rear naked choke. His stock was already high. I don't think his stock was, is dropped any. If nothing else, it may have increased. To be honest with you, because he in some people's rankings he was second, some other rankings he was first.
Okay. Hey, finals is on. So real quick, if I could, I'm sorry I'm an asshole for doing that, but just want to say that he got a rear naked choke in his first match, armbar. He got by points, got another sub. He lost to Andrew Taggart via takedown, but then beat Max via rear naked choke. I'm telling you right now, I think Andy Varela might be the number one power seeded person, but we probably got to get back to the finals. All
right, so we just wanted to jump in here and do a quick recap, I guess, if that's what you call it, of the guys that have been, part of the PGF or will be part of the PGF at PGF World 6. That's it. We'll catch you on the next episode. Hopefully, we'll have somebody. Hopefully, I can't guarantee it, but maybe we will. So we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Yeah, we're still gonna have our draft.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. When are we gonna do that? I forgot about that.
Soon. We only have 3 weeks, brother.
All right. Well, we'll catch you next time. Peace. Adios, muchachos.